there's a couple of specific things that we want to ask this committee to do today. One is kind of, when we get there, we can talk about it, but establish the actual evaluation criteria, which is really important. And also the evaluation criteria, we need to assign point values to those criteria. And we can do whatever we decide that we want to do. And then there's some dates that we'll have to talk about, and some of it will be based on what we think we can get done today, what we think, do we need to meet again, and what have you. But with that, I know Katie's already sent you, she sent you the original MSBA doc, and then she also sent you the redlined doc. And by the way, we have to submit this RFS to MSBA for approval, and they want it redlined.
So the one area that I just wanted to point out here that we did have to enter in a value is we did have to put an estimated total project cost. So this is obviously based upon approval, and this is just an estimate. So this is not, we put a pretty significant range because we don't know if we're going to be building a new building or if we're going to be focusing on a renovation of the existing building. So for now, the values are 100 million to 300 million. I
just want to say on that, this binds us to nothing. I mean, this is literally a value that we put in a request for services. That value will come at the end of 2 years of the actual feasibility study process. So it binds us to nothing, but it's just for the architects who may be bidding on this to understand this. And they know, the people who bid on this project know. But anyway, just want to point that out. I don't want anybody to get nervous about that number.
There were multiple project objectives that were provided to us in the MSBA template document. And so we did leave those here because it's we did feel that they could be appropriate for our RFS. We also did slightly modify some of the different objectives just based off of the work that we're trying to do here. So of course, making sure that the site is appropriate and that there's adequate parking, traffic, and taking into account that we don't want to affect the surrounding community. The building systems, of course, we want to be efficient, cost-effective, and sustainable building systems that really are designed that prioritizes our students and our staff's safety. So that's a really important piece of that.
So one other thing I thought might be useful to add in there is talking about the phasing of the school construction and operation, either if it's a reno or an addition. I know in the past we've done specific phasing plans and incorporated that into the construction documents at the end. To kind of make a note in there that school will be happening at the building.
You're seeing a lot of construction delays, and the same thing is, it's COVID, supply chain. How we could weight more recent projects in the light of, harder procurement things, because I think, there was a school this year that had to delay opening because their elevators weren't ready because they were waiting on a part, and I think we need to factor that into anything like. Granted, we know that there's problems, but I want to see performances recently with this new environment that we work in